Welcome.
Hi.
You've been busy, haven't you, behind the scenes?
Yeah, I have. I'm not a massive fan of socials, not going to lie. And it's what I've spent my entire day doing, but it's all good.
So for anyone who doesn't know, this is Christine. And what do you do? Who are you?
What do I do?
Which one would you
As
like
I
to
alluded
answer?
to earlier, I look after you.
You look after me.
I don't know. I guess I kind of do the day-to-day running of our businesses. You come up with the crazy ideas and I try and turn them into something.
Yeah. So last year we shared a bit about kind of how we have operated. Like I feel like I'm so blessed in the sense that I touched on this when I was speaking to Ian earlier, Ian McLaughlin, about how amazing it is that who gets to say that they get to spend every day with their partner. Who gets to? Sometimes it might all not
but
always.
again, we touched on this last year. You always used to say that you could never work with me.
No, I know, but you're quite useful actually.
Thanks. Thanks. I'll take that.
But it's wonderful, isn't it? And Ian said it earlier, like he gets to spend 6 days, sometimes 5-6 days a week with his kids and his family. That's an amazing thing to do. And last week we talked about the experiences of that. I think this year I think this last year has been quite trying.
Yeah.
Well, every year is trying. I think every year. I think you are not striving unless it's trying sometimes.
Yeah,
and we've strived for a while, and we kind of got to a place now where I feel quite relaxed.
Relaxed?
I do.
Is that the word? You're never relaxed.
Well, I know, but I feel maybe because it's like 22 hours in or whatever. Maybe that's.
I don't mean right now. I'd probably give you a break if you weren't relaxed right now. Although surely you've not got any energy to not be anything other than fairly relaxed.
I meant with our situation, just generally, I think that we've kind of found our places in our relationship in the sense that it makes sense now. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Which feels nice, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think I probably used to battle you quite a lot. I don't know if I do that quite as much now.
Your mum.
Be gentle with him, kiss, he's exhausted.
Thank you.
So am I. Might have had a little bit of sleep, but not much.
And you can bugger off, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
So this year we did our digital detox again. And
a very last minute one.
I craved it so badly.
Yeah, but I just didn't think it was going to happen. We left it I guess we normally leave it quite late, but we literally left it until we booked it the day before Christmas Eve and went away on Boxing Day.
It was wonderful. I really recommend it. Like something that hasn't. I can't remember who was talking about social media earlier. Lynette. She kind of quit Facebook and stuff. I think there's there's some genuine, huge health benefits to just having a bit of a forget social media, just digital detox.
Yeah.
We consume so much information all the time.
Yeah.
And having that time just to be present with each other, walk, chill. Like we didn't have much to do, so we walked to the pub
several times.
A few times.
Actually, no, that's a lie.
No? We
walked to the pub on the first day, but it was an 8-mile walk. So every day after that, we drove to the pub.
We got a taxi one day. I mean,
we did get a taxi one day, but we did only do the walk once.
We didn't do much, basically.
We still walked a lot. We just didn't do the 8-mile round trip for a pint.
To the pub. No, that seems like a bit mad.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. It's interesting. So Ian and we love you too, stepmom. Stepmom? Is that the right thing?
Mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law. Sorry.
Stepmom would be weird.
Yeah, that would be weird. Mr. McLaughlin. So this is interesting, right? So do we switch off?
No, see, I feel like people ask this quite a lot. How we does it all blend in or do we separate? And I think previously I was probably more keen on separating it because I did used to view everything that we did as work, I guess. So I very much used to think, right, well, work's done now. So there's no conversations about work, no nothing. And I think as I've migrated across the businesses and now we're kind of, because before it was very much I might work on one or two and you were then working on shift and shifties, like before I was involved in that. So I think as it all blended together and it was like all of it was both of us, I think I've realised more that it is more a life that we've chosen. So it's not necessarily about switching off or needing to switch off. Obviously, sometimes we do, which is why we'll go away at Christmas and things like that. But even then, we spent the time strategizing about our businesses, because it's really hard to. I was having this conversation with Nanny actually the other day. It's really hard.
Nanny's on.
She is.
Hey, Nanny.
It's really hard, like day to day, to see too far into the future, which I think is important day to day. I don't think day to day you should be looking too far into the future, because the nature of business is that you just have to deal with whatever comes at you on that day. But what we do at Christmas is really good to just have that time to stop. There's not much else going on. So that gives us that time to look ahead. So yeah, I guess even when we say we're switching off from it, we're switching off from it enough to allow us to focus on it. And like I say, I think it's a life that we've chosen. I mean, the stuff that we do, it's opened up a lot of opportunities for things that we really want to be doing.
Yeah.
You know, the charity work and things like that is, you know, neither of us are overly money driven.
Not in the slightest, quite frankly.
Which again, when it comes to day-to-day business, that can sometimes be a problem.
We should give it away.
And I think that's where we've realised when we looked at our strategy this year was, right, the businesses for us are a means for us to meet incredible people, to hopefully make a difference in some form, and to enable us to do the things that we really enjoy, which is, it might sound a bit cheesy and cliche, but it's helping people.
Yeah.
We like to give our time,
like today,
to make change, make a difference, and help people where we can. So finding that balance of making money, because that's a thing that has to be done.
We live in an economic
and
world.
Make sure that we're doing the things that we want to be doing, is, I think, we're finally on that track. I think we've maybe made some wrong turns along the way.
Well, yeah.
And gone down paths.
I think they just...
But I don't think they were wrong at the time that we made the decision. They just didn't work out or get us to where we wanted to go and have us focusing on the things that we want to be focusing on. And I think for this year, that is what we're on track to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I feel like everyone should, regardless whether you're, you know, husband, wife, fiancés, whatever you call your, like, whatever your situation is, and the same in business. If you've got business partners, co-founders, anyone doing anything, like look at like Steve and Justin, right, doing the Walk and Talk for Men, having those open, honest conversations with each other are so crucial.
Yeah.
And we probably really, if we've been honest, 4 or 5 years ago, we weren't having those conversations like we're having now at a much deeper level, to really understand what we're, you know, what I want from life and what drives me, and vice versa, and then what we want together. Yeah. I think that's such a powerful concept that I really recommend if you have got a partner, whether you work together or not.
I think whether you work together or not, and same if you're in a relationship or not. Like, I think for me, going into business with someone, that in itself is a big decision, and you're making a commitment to that person. So yeah, even if you're not partners in that sense, if you are forming that kind of relationship and that kind of commitment with each other, then you should regularly check in and make sure that you are on the same page. Otherwise you veer off and then problems arise. Yeah, absolutely. We would have been husband and wife as well by now. We would have been husband and wife, but we had to cancel it. So COVID. Yeah. Bloody thing. I do keep saying that Amy, who isn't engaged, And her partner doesn't really want to get engaged, I don't think. She's probably going to be married before we are.
Well, whatever. Like, what you want from me?
No, I agree.
So, Christine, you shared something with us last year around the challenges you had with your anxiety, which were very, very, very real and challenging really challenging for you.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you on that? Where are you in that journey now?
I guess I wouldn't say that I struggle with anxiety anymore. I think there's days where situations or circumstance might make me feel anxious in that moment. But I feel like I'm much more aware of what that is and that I can control it to an extent. There's certain ways of talking to yourself or asking questions or taking some deep breaths. I think I've found ways of coping with it, I think. And like I say, I definitely wouldn't say that I struggle with anxiety anymore. I'd say situations and circumstances can make me feel anxious, but I wouldn't say that I struggle with anxiety anymore.
That's nice, right?
Yeah.
Why? How?
I don't know. I'd like to say that I put in loads and loads of effort, like you were telling me to do at the time, into reading. And
I wasn't telling you. I don't think I was telling you. I was maybe offering you options.
Well, and you used it to help me. I think it definitely still did help me. You just
Learn it
did all of that work learning it to then help me do it. So inadvertently, I got that knowledge.
Well done.
For all the effort that I put in for it. I think I'm very aware that I wouldn't let myself get to that place again. And it's Linda. It is Linda.
Fuck you, Linda.
I feel like we've got to coin that. That's going to be the tagline for Speak Up 2022. Fuck off, Linda.
I remember this as well.
Oh God, terrifying.
Read it like this, Ian.
Absolutely terrifying. And I think I probably rehearsed it for about 2 weeks. It was awful. Standing up in front of a room full of people.
Isn't that a great message, though? Like, we talk a lot around. We do a lot of work with young people now, and we've got some wonderful young talents here that I think have grown as humans tremendously. Forget what they do professionally; they've grown tremendously as humans.
Yeah.
Like, you have to develop that resilience, and you have to develop that strength from within, and that comes from pursuit of challenging things.
Yeah,
and you can't always protect from that.
No, and I do think as a society we're quite quick to try and protect from it now. I think, and you've got Beth on after, so I know the education system is going to come up. But I think
I'm excited for that.
I do think more education around mental health.
Yeah.
Around what is maybe a feeling that over time can escalate into something more serious. I think when I was younger, I think if I'd have learned some of the coping mechanisms that I've got now, I'm not sure that I would have struggled with anxiety in the way that I did. Because looking back now, at the time, it didn't remotely feel irrational. But looking back now, it was irrational. Like you'd come home and you'd ask me what was wrong, and I wouldn't be able to tell you. I couldn't articulate what was wrong. I just had this feeling.
You were suffering with chronic anxiety.
But if I'd have understood what that was, and like I say, if I'd have learned from an early age what different mental illnesses were and how they maybe feel for some people, and just being a bit more exposed to it, because I think young people now are more exposed to
Oh,
it.
definitely. Well,
then I also
wonderful
think
parents, and
But then I also think that they're sheltered from it because obviously naturally, parents want to protect. But I do think you're exactly right that the way to build that resilience is to learn how to deal with it. And I think the earlier that people learn coping mechanisms and have the right education around it, the less severe mental illness will be in some
at least you've got awareness
and
of
in
what
some
to do about it, right?
circumstances. Yes. And if you learn that from an early age, then you can start implementing them coping mechanisms and them strategies and things like that from an earlier age. You can start playing with it and things like that rather than getting to a point where it's this big thing that you've never actually dealt with and it just escalates over time. Because protection isn't always the best form of defense, because then you never learn how to deal with it. And if you don't cure the problem, then the problem potentially gets a lot bigger.
No, great message. Great message. Well, I'm proud of you for the growth journey you're on. And I said this to Danny B earlier. I think so there's an episode with Danielle Bridge and Christine. Linda's coming. What it's like to be a CEO, and Christine's obviously taken over, basically kicked me out because I'm useless as a CEO, quite frankly. I just give everything away. And that's been a real journey for Christine. So I think anyone who is maybe looking to take on a leadership role of some form and wants to check that out, then it's a wise person, I would say, is a good person to follow.
Yeah.
I'm biased.
I'd probably disagree.
That's Linda.
That's Linda.
Fuck off, Linda.
Linda would disagree.
Oh, Steve, it's a long story, Linda, mate.
Steve, not know about Linda.
Oh, mate, Linda's been present all day.
She has, yeah.
Well, thank you. And right, so before I get Beth on, then should we let me have a look at. Right, do you know how much that?
No.
Nah.
I'm sorry.
Didn't we put a post out on Shifties with last year's results? And I'm sorry, by the way, anyone who's messaged me or tagged me in comments and stuff, I will get back to you in the next kind of 48 hours.
I was just saying to Beth that the last half an hour might make you really tired, but then it's going to get to God midnight and you're going to look at your phone and not be able to sleep all night because you're going to want to read it all.
Well, I will, but I need to crash. So it was £6,000. No, that was with CPA. That was with gift aid. What's the gift aid element?
So the gift aid. So I was having this conversation with Gary earlier, and gift aid can be questionable because obviously they have to look into if people are eligible for it.
Right.
So some people might tick gift aid and not
actually get it,
be eligible for it.
So in short, we don't actually know how much we've raised, which is crazy.
Well, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We know, like, for instance, I know that was like 4,500-ish.
Yes. I mean, when did you change that?
I don't know.
I feel like you should have written that down.
I shouldn't have been in charge of that bit. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But yes, it's definitely more than that.
3.5.
We'll work it out. The prize draw is not until the 4th of Feb, so we've still got plenty of time to raise anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get onto that. But I know. I don't know. I'm talking rubbish.
You'll have to sit and watch.
I can see Fergie's face laughing.
You'll have to sit and watch the whole 24 hours to find out when you changed it.
I'm like in incoherent mode incoming. Yeah, I'll look into that for you.
Yeah, we'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, but it's definitely like at least $4,000. I'm certain of that. But yeah, I don't know, if I'm honest. I don't know. Either way.
I don't know why you were in.
Nice. That's
new
awesome.
Gift.
Thank you very much, sir.
Wenice.
Very nice.
Yeah, right, so we're gonna promote them like crazy.
Yeah, so we'll promote them. Yeah, we will, because it's over 70 gifts, so we'll promote them.
I'm assuming Stephen will be doing the.
Yeah, Fergie's here for
I feel like he's been excited about that since last year.
We got the Wheel of Fortune coming on the 4th of February. Get ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Thank you for making all this happen, because I just have to sit here and endure the challenge of trying to talk for 24 hours, which I'm actually quite good at.
Shockingly.
But you have to do all of everything else.
Yeah. Apart from keep tally of the total,
which I didn't.
I'm
keep up with
not
that.
claiming responsibility for that.
This doesn't look good for me. Thank you, Fiona. Well, right, cool. I'll be back. Oh, nah. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Anyone who's still here, I love you all, because this all goes downhill. If you want to see someone just completely crash, this is me for the next 2 hours. But yeah, I'll be back in 5 minutes with one of my favorite people I've met in the last couple of years. In Beth, she's just a phenomenal human. I just believe in everything that she's about, and I've got to know her son as well, Luke and Loki. He's great. He's on our Ignite program, and extremely talented young entrepreneur who's just turned 18. I'm very, very excited for him, and I'm really excited to get Dawn on to have a chat about the work that she does with Red Balloon. And whatever else. So I'll just something, and Pride as well, and just her relentless energy towards changing the systemic challenges that we have with our education system, which we have a shared passion for. So get ready for that in 5 minutes.
Nice.
And thank you, Christine, for everything that you've done to support me and put up with me, just generally, my own, just me being me. And making all this happen, and all the wonderful, beautiful messages that have come through, and the change that's happened through this event.
You play your part.
I play my part. Thanks.